Hello there, Eagles fans, and welcome back to Philly Eagles Therapy. I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Hey, Dad, how you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. I'm excited for tomorrow night's game. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
Unfortunately, we can't watch it live, but that's okay.
that's true. For all those watching, if you have, or if you're in Philly and you're going to the game or something like that, or maybe they're showing it on a local channel, I don't know how it really works in the preseason, but hopefully you get to enjoy it while it's live. But yeah, we'll be watching around 11 o'clock. Thankfully, I'm off work on Friday, so I can stay up late tomorrow night to watch it at 11 p.m. So, but we're here recording Wednesday, August 6th. 2025, like my dad said, day before the preseason opener for the Philadelphia Eagles, playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's an exciting time. Football's back. It may not be completely real football, but it's still a fun time for us, you know.
Well, it's going to be real for the people that go to the game tomorrow night. They paid for the tickets, so they'll be in the seats, and it's football to them. So,
That's right. That's right. Well, then let's go ahead and jump right into it right away. I got some news first before we go over the preseason game. Starting off, the big news that everyone's been talking about: Thomas Booker. Eagles trade defensive tackle Thomas Booker to the Raiders for Jacorian Bennett, a cornerback, third-year cornerback out of Las Vegas. Pretty good trade, Dad. I think it's a beneficial trade for both sides. What's your thoughts on it?
yeah, I mean, it kind of tells you that they have maybe some feelings that the guys that are out there now, Dory Jackson and Sidney Brown, maybe not at the point that they want them to be. The
Keely
fact that
Ringo.
the fact that I'm sorry, why did I say Sidney Brown? Yes,
Okay,
Kelly
I get
Ringo.
you.
So I mean, we all want him to win the job, obviously, because he's young, he's a Georgia guy. But it's beneficial for Booker. He'll probably get more playing time, and we really liked
Yes.
him. He played well for us. He played for us early last year and had a lot of snaps. Then as the season went on, he really didn't get that many. We were hoping he would because I was a big fan of his, but he's gone now, so that's the way it goes. It's good because you can never have enough corners in the back, and we know that we've got enough defensive line, obviously. So I think with the four big ones we've gotten, and then Gabe Hall's playing out like his mind. So I think we're good there.
No, I do agree with you. I think, like you said, there's a lot of people that think like, oh, this is a statement of how Dory Jackson and Keely Ringo are kind of disappointing, and no, I think that is true. There's truth behind it, but I do think it's also a huge statement to the fact that they are just very happy with their defensive tackle room because they like
Yes.
Booker. It isn't a hidden fact that they were big fans of Booker. They were willing to play him even when we had two first round picks defensive tackles. They played him and
Right.
Milton Williams, who was a third round pick defensive tackle.
Yes.
They gave him some playing time. So I do think they did like him, and I think that this is just them saying, we got the Robinson guy, we got Moro Ojomo, and like you mentioned, Gabe Hall. I think they just feel very comfortable with
Yes.
that defensive
With
tackle room.
with Carter and Davis, I mean, you got five guys right there, and I think, like you say, very comfortable with them. If they weren't, I don't think they would have pulled the trigger on the move. The kid we got from Las Vegas was what,
Yeah.
a pretty high pick a couple of years ago.
He's a fourth round pick. He was the pick right after Keely Ringo. Funny enough, so fourth round pick, third year, and yeah, the same draft as Keely Ringo. He was picked one pick later. So yeah,
Right.
we got two guys picked in the fourth round that year. Um, Obviously Ringo, like you talked about, played at Georgia. Jacorian Bennett, I was looking it up beforehand. I already kind of forgot where he
Right.
went to school, but wasn't super big. One second, let me double check that real
Sure.
quick.
Go
But
ahead.
it is a big deal for them to have made that trade, and they expect
Well,
him to be a part of
the
it.
good, the one good
Maryland,
thing about it too is that it's an early August trade. It's not somebody that's going to
yes,
miss the whole training camp. I mean, obviously he's not going to play tomorrow night. It's a little too early, but from what
yeah,
I'd heard, he was on the field. Yesterday's practice. So
yep,
he was on the field. I mean, kind of just with the hellos and the highs and all that kind of
correct.
stuff. So, but it's not a bad thing to have an extra guy like that, especially when you feel comfortable with your defensive line. So,
And Jacorian Bennett played for Maryland. That was the school. I
okay,
couldn't think of it.
there you go.
Let's go
ACC
ahead.
guy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get into the preseason game playing tomorrow in Philly, playing against the Cincinnati Bengals. It's already made news this week that the Bengals coach, he came out in a press conference and said that the starters are going to be playing, especially on offense. They're going to be playing because obviously with the Bengals, they're known to the last few years to have started off slow. They don't have the best starts to the season, and it's kind of affected them, especially last year, not making the playoffs. So they are going to be starting their starters. So it looks like the Eagles defense is, at least the defense, is going to be throwing a lot of starters out there, especially the ones who are going to be
Right.
competing for starting overall or starting positions.
Right. Well, I heard something today that Cooper DeJean was going to be on the field, and I kind of don't like that idea. But I mean, you only have
Yeah.
three preseason games now to play. And then the way I tell you this all the time, how it used to be, you'd play a first quarter, then in the second one, they'd play a second quarter. Then by the third game, maybe the first half, and then the fourth game, nobody played. Well, you don't have that fourth game anymore. So
Yep.
I think the way they look at it now, it's probably going to be a series or two with those guys, and then start pumping in the other guys.
Yeah.
The guys you want to really take a look at.
Yeah. And Cooper DeJean, I think the big thing with him is getting him some active reps at safety. Obviously, we know in the base lineup in the base formation, he's been playing safety. And then when he goes to the nickel, Sidney Brown comes in. But I think this is a big deal for them to say, hey, we need him to get some snaps at the safety spot. We know he can do it, but we need active reps of him doing that.
But it is funny when you think about it. They've only had 10 practices, and to me that's always a nerve thing. Like, are they ready? Are they? We don't want any pulled hamstrings or anything like that. So
yeah.
But the big guys are not going to be in there. Most of the big players, big name players.
Yeah, well, AJ Brown, of course, he's hurt. I don't think a single starter on offense is going to play.
Right.
I couldn't imagine a single. Steen might be the only one who maybe gets playing time, and that's it.
Right.
I mean, there's no way anybody else. Obviously, Dotson. I mean, you could say he's not. He's technically a starter.
Right.
I could see him getting some snaps. You'll see a lot of guys on the offense, but let's go ahead and get into. Oh, first of all, before we get into the players that we're excited to watch. How about you go ahead and give me a rundown of the weather for tomorrow's game?
Well, it's going to be warm. It's going to be humid. So they say the game is in Philly, so it's going to be about 80 degrees around kickoff time, which is going to be early. It's not, a late night game. It's like a 4:30 kickoff that time, something like that, right? 5 o'clock.
It's 5:30 our time, so it's.
So it is 7:30.
7:30 over there.
So it is going to be, because a lot of those games they'll play them early, But so yeah, it's going to be about 80 degrees and it's very high humidity, about 75% humidity. People in Philly know the weather, so it's going to be a sweaty game. But I don't believe there's any rain in the forecast, so it's not going to be just going to be hot, hazy, hot, and humid, as they say.
Yep. Let's go ahead and talk about some players that we're both excited for. So we had kind of split this up. We went ahead and said you took offense, I took defense. So we'll talk about each of us. We'll bring up 5 players that we're really excited to watch tomorrow. We're going to obviously be leaving out the big names. So I did defense. I didn't put Quinyon Mitchell on here, Cooper DeJean, or Reed Blankenship, or Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. Even if they are playing, I'm more so going for guys that I'm excited to see more from. I haven't seen much, maybe rookies, second guys, stuff like that.
Right. Sounds good.
I'll go ahead and start with you on the offense. What are you excited? Who are you excited to watch?
Well, one of the first players. Now, of course, I kind of broke it up into positions, but if it's going to be players, it's going to be Kyle McCord, our quarterback.
Yes.
I got him. He's number 19, so look for him. He'll probably be playing second, third quarter is my guess.
Yeah.
Where you're going to have Tanner McKee out there too. But I think I've heard a lot about McCord. I've heard a lot about his arm. He looks good. He's a kind of a pro style type quarterback. So we'll see what kind of offense they run. But that's going to be the hardest thing watching the game is, are they running the ball? It's just so vanilla, but we're going to at least get to see him under pressure and see what he can do. So Kyle McCord is my guy, number 19. So look for him, and hopefully he breaks into the NFL and plays well.
Gotcha. Just the one? Who else you got?
Oh, well, I got
all 5 of yours.
Okay, for running back, I got obviously Shipley. I'm sure he's going to play. So, he's the big one. But a couple of the other running backs, I really don't have anything about them, so I really don't know much. I know A.J. Dillon, but I don't know if he's going to be playing at all. So we'll see if they use him. But, yeah, it's going to be Shipley to see how he does handling the load because, Barkley's not going to be playing. Then Shipley kind of needs some work. He doesn't get to play in this last season and didn't have much of a role. Gainwell was our number 2. So I think Shipley's going to be somebody I'm going to be looking for. Number 28 on your score sheet, and hopefully he has a good game. But the biggest thing I've got, it really is the wide receivers. That's my I'm keyed in. I've got 5 guys, but I'll pick the 3
That's fine.
of that group that I'm looking to play. Now, Darius Cooper is one guy who's been making some good plays this offseason, especially with a lot of our wide receivers not playing in the preseason or kind of being held out. Devontae had a back thing going, and now AJ's got a hamstring, I believe. It's just they're sitting and waiting. That obviously don't want to do too much But Darius Cooper, number 41, he's going to be one of the wide receivers. I'm looking to see if they're going to be throwing it to him. Then I also have the big one, really, is Elijah Cooks. He's really making a name for himself.
Yeah,
They're
big
really
time.
talking a lot about him. They're saying, if he continues to ball out like he has been, he will make the roster. Now, he's 6'4", 215, so he's a big guy. He's not a little guy, and most of our wide receivers are not super tall guys. Where Jahan is only 5'11", and Anais Smith's only 5'9". So if they're going to go for a little bit more height, depending on the offensive coordinator how he wants to go, I think Elijah Cooks it might be the guy. So look for him. He's number 86. He should be playing a lot tomorrow night because from what I've heard in all the practice that they've had in the training camp, he's been really a standout player. So,
Yeah.
And the third one is going to be Johnny Wilson, who kind of has been having a not so great camp. But again, it depends who you're listening to and what you hear. But I've heard he's had like 4 drops the other day, and it was a big deal. Of course, he's 6'6", he's 228, so he's a big receiver. And he's really a great blocker. I mean, he's one of the better blocking wide receivers in the league. And I know the team is really enamored by him. He played a hell of a lot last year as a rookie because he was such a good blocker. Now, he didn't get many catches, so we'll see what happens there. But he is I don't have his number written down.
89, I think.
89? Okay.
Yeah,
I think that down.
That should be his number. I think so.
Okay. So look for those 3. Look for 89. 86 is Cooks. He's the one we're really high on.
Yeah.
And number 41, Darius Cooper. Of course, the other one is Anais Smith and Jahan Dotson, depending on how much they're going to play him.
True.
Dotson being number 2 and Anais Smith number 82. So keep your eyes peeled on those. Let's see how they do and see if they're right about Cooks being the guy that's making some plays. I have a feeling they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. I don't see him grinding the ball and trying to run the ball. It's not a preseason thing, right? It's not something you do in the preseason. That's the same with the Bengals. When they come out, they're going to come out firing the ball. I can't imagine they're going to throw the ball. Run the ball. They're going to want to throw that ball. So anyway, That's my guys.
All right, let me go into my defensive guys. I got 5 guys who I'm really excited to watch tomorrow. Number 1 going to be Jalyx Hunt. Obviously, this is a clear and obvious number 1 because he has been talked about more than really anybody in the entire training camp. He's probably the most talked about player. Maybe more Ojomo. I don't know. But Jalyx Hunt, he's been getting a lot of praise from the offensive tackles, the offensive line, the coaching staff, all that sort of stuff. I do hope to see him get a good amount of snaps tomorrow, see what he can do with them against the run if they ever run it, like you said, and see what they can do against the passes, what he can do against the pass and against some of those tackles. And, these are going to be starting offensive linemen for the Bengals. Maybe it's not the best offensive line in the league. We know that, but I still want to see what Jalyx Hunt can do against those type of guys.
Gotcha.
Next one is Jahad Campbell. Mine, I feel bad. Mine was defense a little bit easier than yours. Defense, it's kind of all the big names have been coming from the defensive sides. Jahad Campbell, obviously the rookie first-round pick, linebacker. We know we're going to see some of him in this game. I don't know how much, of course, but we know we're going to see him because Bond ain't going to be out there. N'Kobe's done right now. And then Jeremiah Trotter is going to be the other guy that we see out there with him, who I'm also excited to see. I didn't have as one of my 5, but I am still excited to watch him.
Gotcha.
But yeah, good to see it would be nice to see what Jahad Campbell could do on that field in active NFL starts.
Yeah, well, one of the good things about that is Trotter's been getting a lot of reps, which really is perfect for our situation because we have Bond, who's kind of taking it easy he's got a little back thing going on as well. And then, of course, N'Kobe's not ready to play yet. So Trot is getting a bunch of snaps, and it's just a perfect scenario, really, when you already have 2 guys that can do the job, and then you bring in a rookie with Jahad, and now you've got Trotter out there. It's just a perfect scenario, I think.
Yep. Next one I have is one of the guys competing for the safety spot when in the nickel package is going to be Sidney Brown. We're going to see him early on, depending on what formation we start in. If we start with DeJean in the safety or DeJean in the nickel, we're going to see some Sidney Brown tomorrow. I'm excited to see what he has. He's had a lot of good tape in the NFL. He's also had some bad tape, and I think this is going to be a good time for him to show Vic Fangio what he can do and the fans show him what he can do. He got a little bit, I don't want to say lucky in training camp with Makuba getting injured kind of early. So it didn't seem like it was much of a competition for a while because after that, it was just Sidney the entire time. So this will be a good chance to show I do get this spot. This is my safety spot and I deserve it. I'm not just a special teamer, which he is a great special teamer, but it'd be nice to see him, have some real reps, quality reps at safety. The next one's Moro Ojomo, who I kind of already spoke about. Moro Ojomo alongside Jalyx Hunt has probably had the most talk about him in training camp. He's been dominating Tyler Steen, which we talked about earlier in the week, is kind of a, I don't know what does that mean, but it'll be good to see Ojomo play against a different guy, different guards, different center, all that sort
Yeah.
of stuff to continue to flash and show what he was showing in training camp and really
Well,
prove.
yeah.
I mean, it's all about proving, but really prove that he's a starting defensive tackle. I mean, it's
Yeah.
clear Carter, and then you know what Davis can do. He's the run stopper guy. But, Ojomo, if he's out there with one of those guys, Carter's always going to be double teamed, and Davis isn't the big sack guy. So Ojomo, he's going to take that sack, that defensive tackle position that gets the sacks.
Yeah, I've heard Ojomo's been getting a sack or two every single practice.
Yep.
And he's been getting them not just on Steen, but on Dickerson as well. So he's having a heck of a training camp. And we'll see. Now he can play against somebody that's not on his own team, so he can really ball out.
That's right. That's right. And the last one I have is kind of a surprise because he's played a lot in the league. He's played a lot of snaps in a lot of games. I threw Josh Uche. So now this was a toss-up between him and Ojulari. I'm excited to watch them both, of course. I'm just excited to watch football. But Uche I chose because he did have some buzz coming out of him about training camp. He was playing a little bit better than Ojulari was. He was getting a little bit better pressures and better stops and everything like that, even though Ojulari was getting more snaps than him. Uche shined a little bit more. I am excited to see that. I think Uche will play more than a lot of the other guys just because even though he's a veteran, he is more on a prove-it deal for us.
Oh, yeah.
Because, even though he's played before and he's gotten sacks before, we need to see what he can do for this team in this specific rotation. This defense is very different from defenses he's played in before. So we got to see what this guy can do, as well as Ojulari. What can they do for us? And, we've talked about it. These guys are going to be huge for us. We need one of these guys or both of them to be great. I did some math on it. They both had some injuries in their past or missed some games and stuff like that. If you averaged out of 17 game seasons, Ojulari gets 8.1 sacks in a season, and Uche would get 5.4. So it would even out to be 13 and a half sacks between the two of them. So, I mean, hey, if you can get a season out of these guys right now where together they combine for 13 and a half sacks, you'd be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I think Uche, like you say, he's going to be – I think he should be hungrier because he has played, but not that often. He was on the Chiefs last year, and he really did not play much at all. So now here he is on another team. Then he can hope get some more playing time and make a name for himself. Obviously, he came out and he played for the Patriots early on, but then he went to the Chiefs, I think, mid-season last year.
Yeah.
So he kind of a late – it's hard to break into the lineup when you come in that late. So the good thing is, even though he's a veteran, he doesn't have a lot of tread on the wheels, so that's a good thing for us. Hopefully, like you say, he's coming in hungry. He's on a one-year deal, and he knows you play good for the Eagles, you get a big contract the next year.
It's true. It's very clear.
So, I mean, there's a lot of history right there in the last few years. So I think he knows that, and hopefully he's going to come out and, like you say, just show what he's got and really, really push himself to get close to being a starter, if you will, if not first guy up.
Definitely. Some other non-Eagles news I wanted to touch on. So I already threw it out there before, but the Bengals expected to start all of their offensive players. I would assume their defensive players as well, just to kind of get a real feel of the game because they've had those slow starts. The next one I wanted to talk about, we're not Browns fans, but we like to support the Browns every once in a while. And Shedeur Sanders, they announced that he's going to be starting on Friday for the Browns. So I feel like, is this going to be the most watched preseason game in NFL history?
Very possible. If it's on, I'll watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is set to be on NFL Network.
Oh, good.
So
good. I know you talked about it.
Yeah, I'll be a little bit late to that. It starts at 5 o'clock on Friday, but it is scheduled to be, it's going to be on NFL Network. Browns versus Carolina, two worst teams in NFL history. No, I'm just kidding. Two not so great teams.
Recent history,
yeah. Going to be playing some starters across the way for the Panthers, and then, we'll see what Shedeur can do out there. I'm kind of excited to watch that and get his first NFL
Yeah,
start.
I mean, there's a few players I'm looking for. What's his name? Hunter, right? Travis Hunter.
Yeah. Well, he's the Jaguars. Yeah.
But I mean, he's somebody that if I get a chance to pop that game on, I will. Of course, they can only throw a few games, but if you're a real NFL junkie, you can watch the NFL Network that whole weekend. They'll be playing different games at different times. Again, we've talked about it. The Eagles game will be on the NFL Network at 1 a.m. Eastern time, so 10 o'clock Pacific time. I'll be up Friday night watching it at 11 just to see what happens. Even if I know the score, it doesn't matter. I just want to see what happens.
I agree.
It's going to be rough. You know how you and I are about preseason, but ever since that COVID season, we're back
That's right.
in.
Yeah,
we don't
man,
complain about preseason ever again.
Absolutely, man. We used to talk bad about it, but now football's football.
That's right.
Yeah, when you lose the preseason, we didn't realize how much we missed it.
That's right. We sure did. And it seems like every year it's more anticipated. So it's going to be exciting to watch. Now, as you said, the Bengals are going to be playing their first team offense. So it's going to be really good to see how our first team defense, if they're all out there. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to be, but if they're all out there, it's going to be a little test. I mean, it's so early, but
definitely.
It's going to be interesting to see how they do, especially the Bengals defense, which has been awful really the last couple of years. And I know they've been plugging and playing some position players. So we'll see how our second string guys do against maybe their first string defense. So that's also not a bad thing.
So tomorrow we got two games. No, you're good. Tomorrow we got two games while we're not on TV. The Colts and Ravens are on at 5 for us. The Raiders Seahawks are on at 8, and then the Browns Panthers are at 5 on Friday. I think that's the only game on. And then Saturday on NFL Network, I got the Giants Bills at 11, the Texans Vikings at 2, and then it looks like the Jets Packers at 6 o'clock. So
and then it just replays the rest of the week.
Correct. Oh, and then there's
Find your team.
2 games on Sunday. The Dolphins, the Bears will be on NFL Network at 11, and then the Saints and Chargers will be on at 2:05. So it's a good weekend of football. I mean, it's not 30 games like we're used to, or 16 games, but
right.
It's a good rundown, and it's a good way to get our feet wet, and just kind of ease back into the season. You got to inch back in.
But it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. That's right. Looking forward to it. And again, we'll be watching those games. Now, I think I said the Eagles are on Thursday night at 11 p.m.
Yes,
our time.
Our time. Yes, correct.
So
they'll be on NFL Network
tomorrow night.
Yep. Set your
stay up late.
DVRs, everybody. We already did, but like I said, I'm off work on Friday, so I'm probably gonna stay up pretty late, at least watching some of it.
Yeah, at least a half, but depends. I'll probably stay up and watch the whole thing. So
it's true. I probably will too.
Unless
you can fast forward through commercial, or no, it'll be live. So no, you're just got to sit there. So I don't know with the commercials, maybe not, but
we'll see.
You got anything else on football?
No, I don't.
All right, just real quick.
Let me go. Sorry, one more thing. One other person I wanted to look for was Avery Williams for a punt return.
Yeah,
number 18. Just keep your eyes posted. They listed like 5 different guys returning punts, but Avery Williams is the guy that I think is going to be the punt returner, and we're hoping is because we don't want Cooper back there. So
correct.
Sorry,
100%.
That's all I got.
It's okay. I forgot to mention special teams. So good job. Okay, let's go ahead and touch real quick on the Phillies. Just a real quick glance. They did lose the game against the Orioles, but they did win the series over there the last 2 days. They're now 65-49, still first in the NL East, and doing a pretty darn good job. The Mets are only, I think, a couple of games behind though. So Mets are 63-52, Phil's 65-49. So still a race. It's not a runaway. So still a race in the NL East. So just keep an eye on that. But hopefully we just run away with it. I'm tired of this.
Get a few series here.
Yeah, I was talking to Steve about Schwarber. I'm saying Schwarber. He's got the All-Star MVP. He's going to win the NL MVP, and then when he wins the World Series MVP, it'll be the greatest Philly season ever. And he said, "Well, we don't really want that because then he'll be too expensive, and someone else will sign him because we don't have enough money." And I was like, "Man, if he gets us a championship, I'm kind of okay with him leaving. Obviously, I'd want him here for the rest of his life, but
he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, definitely. But I said I'd settle for Harper to win the NL or the series MVP. So
there you go. Okay, or a pitcher, a couple no hitters.
I'll take that. Wheeler Sanchez split MVP. Maybe Ranger in there as well.
So who lost today? Was Suarez?
No, I don't think so. Was it?
I
did not get to watch this game because it was at 10:30 in the morning. I was at work,
it was early,
which I always hate these kind of games. Suarez did get the loss. I'm sorry. So Suarez got the loss. Yep, 6.1. Oh man, let up 9 hits. Yeah, he had a struggle. Or all 5 runs were earned, or 5 of the 6 runs were earned against him. Well, they got a grand slam. They had a grand slam against us. I saw that. It was to go up 4-0, and I was pretty bummed. Or they didn't have a grand slam. They didn't have a grand slam. They
keep winning series. They keep winning series. 2 or 3, 3 or 4.
The Orioles did not have a grand slam. Sorry, they had a 3-run homer. I'm sorry.
Okay.
A guy scored before it. but it
Gotcha.
looked like a grand slam to me because I saw 0-0 and then 4-0, and I was like, what? So, yeah.
Yeah. When you're working, that's hard.
Yep.
Awesome.
Anything else you got, Mehdi?
No, man, let's go Birds.
All righty. Let's say our goodbyes. You could follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. If you like Philly Eagles Therapy, do us a favor, rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop us a like and a comment. Subscribe down below, or subscribe on the channel right over here, somewhere in there. And just go ahead and give us a comment as well, how you're feeling about the game tomorrow. And hopefully you can comment how happy you are with the good performance by some of the players on Friday. But other than that, from all of us here at Philly Eagles Therapy, I'm Basil.
And I'm Baz.
Go Birds.
Fly, Eagles, fly.